In this walkthrough, we will see how you can add Azure storage account that you want to manage through the team edition of Cloud Portam. When it comes to adding Azure storage accounts into Cloud Portam, there are two ways by which you can do it. One is you can add an Azure storage account by inputting the account name and account key, and you can get this information from the Azure Management Portal, or you can import multiple Azure storage accounts directly into Cloud Portam, and this is accomplished by using something called a publish settings file. So let's see how you can add an Azure storage account individually, and for that we would need the account name and account key and some other information that we will get from Azure Management Portal. So let me switch to Azure Management Portal. So here I am in the preview of Azure Management Portal. I will click on Browse and then click on Everything, then Storage Accounts, and here I see a list of all the storage accounts that are there in my subscription. Now I'm interested in adding this particular storage account, so I click here, and first thing that I want to find out is the location of the storage account. Now to find that, I will click on Settings and then Properties, and I will just make a note of it that my storage account is located in the West US region. The next thing that I want is the account key, so I will click on keys here, and as you can see there are two keys which are created by Azure for my storage account, the primary and the secondary access key. I can use either of the keys into Cloud Portam. So let me just copy this primary access key. So now I have all the information that I need. So let me head on to the Cloud Portal. Now here I'm seeing the list of all the cloud resources that are there already added to my account in the team edition of Cloud Portal. Now to add a storage account, I can click on add resource and then select add cloud storage account, or I can right click and click on add storage account. So let me just do that. Now, like I said, you get two options. One is to add Azure storage account individually and import storage account. So let's just keep this one selected, click on next, and now I get to input the account name and account key. So I will just put my account name here. I'll paste the account key that I copied from Azure Management Portal, and remember that my storage account was located in the West US region, so I will select that region. Then I click on next. Now here is an interesting part. Essentially with Cloud Portal, there are three ways by which you can save the account key. Actually there are two ways, but the first is that you tell Cloud Portam that do not save the account key. Now if I keep this particular checkbox unchecked, then in that case Cloud Portam will not store your account key, and what will happen is every time you use the storage account, then you will have to input that account key. Now if I want to save the account key into Cloud Portam, I just have to check this checkbox, and now I get two options. One is encrypt and save account key on my computer. Now what happens in this case is that your account key is encrypted and is then stored in this particular browser's local storage, right? And the second option is that we encrypt and save the account key in the Cloud Portam's database. For team edition of Cloud Portam, it is recommended that you use this option. Now when it comes to encrypting and saving the account key in Cloud Portam's database, we actually use industry standard encryption algorithms, and we use those to encrypt the account key and then save that account key into our database. The next thing is the group selection. Group, as we discussed in other walkthroughs, is the logical categorization of the storage account. So we will leave this one as default. And the last thing, which is an optional thing, is to give a friendly account name to your storage account. So I can just input anything that I want. So for example, I want to put demo storage account. I will put it here. If I leave it blank, then it will take the account name and account key. And once I have provided this information, I click on next. Now this is more of an information screen. Essentially with Cloud Portam, whenever it is possible, we make sure that your browser directly communicates with your Azure storage account without the information passing through our servers. So, for example, if you are uploading files into your blob container, then the files are directly uploaded from your browser into your Azure storage account. They don't come to our servers first, and then from there they go to your storage account. That essentially speeds up the operation considerably. Now, how this is made possible through something called CORS and jQuery and Ajax. So, what Cloud Portam needs to do for this thing to work is to set the following CORS rule into your storage account for blobs, queues, and table services. So, we will set a CORS rule with allowed origin as https app.cloudportam.com with these methods, and allowed header as everything and exposed header as everything, that kind of thing, right? So I have provided this information, and now I click on finish button. Now when I press the finish button, what is happening is it is actually validating whether you have inputted the correct account key, and then it will check if RAGRS is enabled on your storage account, and if it is set, then you will get a green mark as you can see here, and then it will try and set the core setting that I showed in the previous screen for blob, queue, and table service, right? And then it also tells you that all users with administrator and co-administrator role in your account are granted full permission on the storage account. Now if I want to explore the contents of this storage account, or I want to manage the storage account, I'll just click on start exploring. Otherwise I can dismiss this box by clicking on the dismiss button. So let's dismiss it, because now what I want to do is I want to show you how you can import multiple storage accounts. So I will dismiss it. Again I will select add storage account. Now this time I will select import Azure storage account. Now for this thing to work, you will need to download the publish settings file. So follow these links, and from there you can download the publish settings file. If you already have it handy, great. Let's proceed. So I click on next, and now first thing that I have to do is I have to select a publish settings file. So I click on browse, and I will select this particular publish settings file. And right now what the application did, it parsed this XML file and it extracted the subscription ID. So I select that, I click on next, and now what it is doing is it is actually fetching all the storage accounts that are there in this particular subscription. So that you can see here, right? Now you saw that we already added Cloud Portam demo. So let's add these two storage accounts and see what happens next. So I selected these two storage accounts and click on next, and again I get the same option whether or not I want to save the account key and how do I want to save the account key with Cloud Portam. I will also ask to choose a group from the existing groups, or I can create a new group based on the subscription in which the storage account belongs, right? So I did that. I click on next. Again the information about the CORS rule will be displayed. So we already know what it is used for. So let's just click on finish, and now what it is doing is it is trying to add these storage accounts one at a time, and these things that you can see here. So that's how easy it is to add either an individual storage account or multiple storage accounts using Cloud Portal into Cloud